Hey, salams everyone. Very excited for you guys to be here. We have the Umoja Games live draw that we're basically going to go through tonight. Um, you know, it's really surreal moment for us. Kind of really at the onset of having so many of you come all the way to Richmond, and what looks like it's going to be an amazing event. This is the first year that we also, despite being a Shia organization, we've opened it up to all the Muslims, and we really, really are excited to kind of really see everyone and kind of see new faces, build relationships, and whatever Umoja Games holds. We're also very excited about the resurgence of the boys and the girls tournaments. Last year was a little bit of a smaller tournament, and this year it's a little bit bigger. So I'll kind of lay out the theme for tonight's live draw. We're going to start off with just kind of a couple of highlights about the event. Then we'll go right into the draw, and just bear with us. We'll go through all of the categories, and then we'll close out. So with that, if we these Umoja games are never possible without the support of the donors. If we can slip over to the next slide, please. It's never possible without the donors. They pretty much kind of really make the entire event happen. We also have a lot of silent donors and a lot of donors that are coming forward in the end. So if anyone has been missed out, really apologize for that. But essentially, they are the ones who really make it happen. Without their support, Umoja Games cannot happen. Umoja Games, will never be able to exist. So thanks a lot for everyone that's on screen, some of the families that have donated and helped those that couldn't afford to come to the games, and also others that just said, here's something from us and help out any teams that need or any players that need. And so many players have been the beneficiary of that. So really thanking all the donors from Umoja and the entire Umoja family. So if we can carry on to the next side, it's very, very important to understand what's in store. So Zamin, I'm going to hand it over to you, and if you want to lead the way in terms of like kind of really trying to understand what's in store for everybody. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, no, of course. I think this year we're probably gonna have our best Umoja yet, the most fun Umoja yet. We have a scavenger hunt happening again. Everyone has a chance to win $500. That's the first place prize, and then second place, you can still, even if you don't get first place, you can still have a chance at $300. Everyone has a chance at winning something, even if you're not first, second, or third place. So like we'll raffle a winner, and those five raffled winners will get $100 each. I feel like the scavenger hunt is probably one of the most fun parts of Umoja because even while you're not playing, or even if you're just a spectator, you can still be a part of that experience, and you'll be around taking pictures, completing tasks, and all around for the past like 3 years or so. I think we've been doing it. I think it's been a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
yeah. It's been 3 years that we've been doing it, and the great thing about scavenger hunt is that it's you're competing, but you're doing fun stuff, right? And I think it brings out diversity. Umoja is all about uniting people, and some of the competitions are about meeting someone from another community or trying to speak a different language, and it's a lot of fun. But Wali, I'll maybe to you, right? Last year, in the last couple of years, we introduced the mascot, and then last year we introduced a lot of things for the kids and a lot of things that people could have fun with. Could you like shed some light on like why did we even do that in the first place?
So I think if we go back, we introduced the mascot in 2017 in Chicago. It was a massive hit. Then in 2019 in Detroit, we introduced a scavenger hunt, which is another massive hit. But I think we wanted to introduce more fun activities, more ways that it's not just about the soccer; it's beyond the game of soccer. So we introduced um, a number of different activities last year, and we've added to that for this year. So now we have the soccer dart set up. We also have some spike ball. We also have some bubble soccer as well available. Soccer billiards, foot pong. We have so many different fun activities available, and you'll see it. It'll be have its own fun zone. We've named it, and it'll be such an incredible experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think the for me the last year, the bubble soccer was really funny. The bubble itself would move from one field to another, and you just see tiny legs kind of moving it around, and you don't see anything else. And then they would flip on their belly and just keep one person rolling the other person. I think if you think about some of the fun experiences last year, that was a lot of fun. And I also saw like parents and kids like doing soccer darts, and there was a whole dedicated field to that, and that actually was quite magical. And
My
I think
personal
we have a couple more this year that we're adding. So
Yeah, I mean, my personal favorite was the spike ball. I feel at times I was watching the people play spike ball, and it was actually more competitive than the games itself. Sometimes it was crazy. I saw people diving all over the place. So I was like, why are you working so hard? You have a game in like an hour.
yeah.
But people are having fun, so I guess it's working for them.
Yeah, so one thing that we're introducing this year, which is very different, and which is called, you'll see it on the screen, it's called Trace. Trace is basically an AI, artificial intelligence powered camera, and we are going to have that available for select games. We only have one camera that we're introducing, and with that, with the tracers that we are going to be careful about, because we don't have tracers are, if they got lost, they're lost. So we're going to be introducing that, so players that actually can see themselves, they can see their highlights, they can see that how they're doing, and it'll all be available after the tournament or even sometimes during the tournament. But we're really excited about introducing Trace to this as well. So that's one thing we're really excited about. Um, I know Hadith just joined, and Hadith, I think we were talking about the different experiences that are there for at Umoja Games and such. And I know you've been a prior participant. Um, one thing I wanted to pick your brain on before, as we're going to, and this is a good segue to the girls and the draw itself. I wanted to ask you, how important is sports for the girls, and what has Umoja done to really help it revive?
Yeah, for sure. I think sport participation just across the board is super important for child development, for developing your not just physical skills, but also your mental skills and the ways that you deal with issues, resolution, all sorts of different emotional, physical, and mental skills that you can develop through sport participation. Especially for women, then on the other side, there's a lot of benefits that you get from just female camaraderie as well, participating with other women, developing your skills. That is, especially at Umoja, is a very like niche experience that is either hard to get or there's lots of obstacles to get it in other places outside of Umoja. So that's why we see such a low participation, in, especially in women's sport, outside of community sport. It's kind of hard for women and girls to not only get in there but also maintain it throughout their years. We don't really see that drop off as much when men are playing sport and when boys are playing. So that's why places like Umoja are super important, and pushing. We continue to push every single year to include women and to you know keep them involved, not just on the field but off the field. Getting the mothers involved, getting their young girls involved, and just to encourage them to play year after year to develop not only their skills on the field but also like their that sense that they are good enough to play and they can continue to play and can continue to develop. So that's why places like this is super important to continue pushing. So yeah.
And Wally, how difficult has it been to organize the girls' tournament this year?
I mean, it's been a bit of a challenge, but I think it's a good challenge. Like Hadid said, it's really important for us to have these programs for the female in our community, um, and we at Umoja have tried our hardest in any way, changing the format, whatever we can to get the girls on the field, give them a really good experience, and have them have a fun weekend.
All right, cool. That's really really good. So why don't we segue right directly into the draw, right? So I think Wally, you'll probably lead us the way in terms of the overall formats and such, and kind of like last couple of years we've done a draw on site and we've done various different things. But this year, we believe that we're all virtual, and we probably should take advantage of bringing, using technology where we can and try and do whatever we can. So here comes the draw. We're going to basically use a tool called, I think, Wally, you'll explain the tool. But what we'll do is we'll go through each of these formats and pick, and then we'll pretty much wrap up the entire live draw. So Wally, would you want to kind of explain what we're doing, and then we'll bring it up?
Sure. So basically, we are using this it's called picker wheel tool. Like Mustafa said, we're a virtual organization, and we're using this tool instead of doing it physically in person. Essentially, what will happen is we will spin the wheel, a name will pop up, and that will get the first slot in the girls U10 division.
All right.
So A1 here goes to Arya RVA FC. It's a new team from the Richmond area, and we're really excited to have them join us at Umoja Games 2022.
We can continue on.
Yes. So we have our Joffrey Juniors girls division from New York, taking A2. Then we have our North American All-Stars team, or I believe Mustafa, what was the name again?
NA Unicorns. I think they're going to be called NA Unicorns. So that's their name, their official name.
And, so you chose that name?
Sorry?
You chose that name?
No, the girls chose it themselves. I don't think I have that power over them.
All right, so they will take A3, and that leaves us with Joffrey Juniors B with the A4 slot. Well, if we can return back to the other screen, so we have Arya RVA as A1, A2 is Joffrey Juniors A, A3 is North American Unicorns, and A4 is Joffrey Juniors B. I wish the entire division good luck. This is going to be a really fun division to watch.
All right, so we'll move on to the second category here, which is U14 girls. Just to elaborate on both of these, there are 4 teams. They'll play each other twice, and then the top 2 go to the championship, and the bottom 2 go into the shield. So Zamin, please take it away.
North American Tigers.
All right. NA
Is that the name that they chose, or like is that similar to NA All Stars that choosing unicorns?
Well, the crazy thing about NA All Stars is basically girls that are free agents that are put together. So we have about 15, 16 girls from different cities coming together. Wow. And that's basically NA Tigers, NA Dragons, and NA Lions. They're basically the 3 teams. So
that's awesome.
All right, NA Lions.
Last one. Joffrey Juniors. And that only leaves the last pick with NA Dragons.
All right. So in the U14 girls, if another team comes up, there is still an open registration for the girls divisions, and I know there's interest. That will be A5. We don't expect another A6, but there will be the fifth team if at all it comes around.
So how would we expect the format to change if there becomes a fifth team?
The format would be they play each other. That means they'll play 4 games, and then we'll probably do a double elimination, or we'll do something creative, just like Boys U15. So when we get to Boys U15, they'll be very similar. So that's the summary for Girls U14. So if we can carry on to the next division, which is the Boys U9. All right, let's carry on.
I think it froze. Let's try again. All right, very own Orlando FC.
It's your hometown, right, Zaman?
My hometown, yeah.
All right, A1. All right, let's go.
RBFC. And the last one. Al Ghazi Warriors. Mustafa, do we know where Al Ghazi is from? Their team is from?
Sorry, they're from Toronto.
Oh, cool. So it's nice to have our Canadians back this year. I know last year it was a lot of trouble for them to come through, so it was nice to see them back at the games.
Yeah, it's nice to see them back. I mean, Canadians make up 30-40% of our participation. Last year we really missed them, and it's good to kind of have them back. There's a couple of girls in the girls categories too, so they are representing, not in the full force. So we will hopefully see them back in full colors next year. So
as much as I like to hate on Canadians, we really miss their presence when they're not there.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of rivalry, right? So
you be careful what you say about Canadians. You got two right
hey,
here
you're
on the
German
podcast.
now. You're German now.
all right, A1 Aria A. Aria B.
Let's take the spot. Last one. I'm calling Orlando on this one.
Well, if it is, then we'll have to audit this tool.
It was this close. This close.
Yeah, you're very close to being audited, so it's fine. All right, so that means Orlando Eagles is A4, and just updating the slide here. So that would be the summary for Boys U12. And it's great to see Canadian team, Orlando team, and 2 Richmond teams. Aria teams are all based out of Richmond, so it's really, really good to see them. And so I think U12 has always been a very exciting category over the years, and it'll be great to see them compete as well.
Yeah, I think Aria is. I know we had the tournament in Richmond last year, but Aria is a new name. Is it a name change or is it a
No,
team?
Total new teams.
Awesome.
They caught wind of the tournament, and I think they came in force. So you'll see them everywhere.
Yeah,
we're really excited about them, and a special mention to Brother Ahmed. He on his own back has been carrying all these teams. So it's exemplary to see the amount of effort he puts in and the time he takes to coach them, even though he's working. So if we go to, this is the U15 group, right? So Zaman, take it away.
New York. First one.
I mean, I'm gonna get dizzy by the end of this.
I'm gonna have headaches from the music.
Well, we're gonna maybe next year we can do this on the app. So,
Yeah, absolutely, we should.
yeah, yeah. This is.
And that leaves Africa Club as the last choice.
Yeah, so Africa Club is also an interesting one. They're I think predominantly Moroccan based. So that's the first time we're getting Moroccan representation as well on the team. So it's great to see, great to see like the different diversity on the group. So it'll be an exciting tournament. So for you.
boys U15 is the one I have great interest in, and we have some old teams that come every year. We have some new teams as well. So there's a huge level of competition I think in the U15, and they have a really interesting format with the double elimination.
No, it'd be good. It'd be good, and I think NA All Stars has a really interesting lineup on that group too, because they are the kids that started in Chicago and they've grown through
That
the
is correct. Yes, that is correct. They are the boys. A lot of them are from Ohio, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Shall we carry on to men's over 35? We're going to keep the men waiting because they're the ones that really are. They've probably dropped off the call and they'll come back on. So why don't we hurry up on the over 35 and then we can move on to the men.
All right, this one I'm calling Orlando. Oh, I'm getting audited. Oh, wait, it's not. Oh, it's close. It's close. The Graphics Sports Club takes A1 slot. Now Orlando Eagles FC with A2. And the last one, the over 35 category.
All right. Shall we carry on with 1 second? Let's summarize. This is men's over 35, Jaffrey Sports, Orlando Eagles, Pemba, and Al Mahdi Lions. And they'll be playing each other twice before the top two go to the cup and then the bottom two go into the shield. So we'll take a moment on the men's open. Wally, this is a record, isn't it? 21 teams.
It is. I think we've gotten 20 before, but 21 is a record as well. And the competition looks fierce, yeah. I would say. Just a quick note on the draw. If you can pull up the table, I just want to say that the draw we will not be doing per group. We will be going by row. So we will draw A1, then B1, then C1, and then moving down from there, just to keep things interesting. I think
that's a good idea, and I think there's probably the most number of games they'll play at Everett Umoja games, right? We've maximized their time. There are a lot of amazing games at night, and there are moments where 9 games are going on at the same time. So there's a little bit of everything thrown into this. So why don't we get started, Simon?
Yeah.
This is A1.
A1. Now this one can make me dizzy. A1 slot.
All right.
B1. Jaffrey Sports New York for B1. then Astron FC. Next is IMF. NOLA. ARIA RVAFC. Ariana FC. Wally, what slot number are we at right now?
We are at A3. Sorry.
All right, so this is spinning for A3 right now.
Yep.
Yes.
Slot A3 goes to Ansar FC. C3 now.
Mm-hmm.
Mozambique Stars. It's been a while since we've seen them. Actually.
Yeah, they're making a comeback.
Yeah, I remember they were in the finals in 2013, I believe.
2013, yeah, they were in the finals.
Yeah, that one was in Orlando. I was just starting to play in the kids tournament then. That was the first year we had like a kids scrimmage match. So
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
right.
that tournament. And this is for C3. Crystal Palace FC. A4 goes to Jaffrey Tigers FC. B4 is Buffalo AFC. B4, that is my team, Orlando Eagles FC.
All right, so why don't we summarize where we are with so far what we have. So this is what it looks like so far. It looks like a pretty exciting lineup thus far. We have the finalists from last year already drawn into Group B. I believe Buffalo were the finalists. We have Orlando Eagles. They have won in the past. They're prior champions. They're there as well. And then we have a couple of new teams as well. IMF NOLA made their entrance last year. Hazara have been around. All right, let's carry on. Let's see how the lineup comes out. There's definitely a sense of some pretty deadly groups here. So
I'm just looking at the rivalry in Group C with the Orlando Eagles and Crystal Palace, both Orlando teams. It's gonna be fun to watch, fun to see.
yeah, there'll be a good derby there. So
Absolutely. This is for spot A5. Brishna FC. B5. Young Simba FC. Seems like a spin-off of Four Lions, to be honest. And for C5, Avalan 313. Now moving on to A6. IACFC. E6. Before. And finally C6. Arman FC. Let's take a look at the table now, just so right before we get into the last three. And looks like we have very stacked group in Group C. And yeah, we have 3 spots left. I'm wondering where all these 3 are gonna go.
All right. We have you just drew the champions of last year, JJ United, who've renamed themselves to Arman.
Oh, I didn't even
into,
recognize them.
they've popped into Group C. And so Group C has 2 prior winners. Group B has prior finalists all across, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. And in Group A, there are a couple of newcomers, but pretty good, strong teams. So
This is for spot A7. Toronto United.
so Toronto United is a prior winner too. They used to be called Almaty Lions.
Oh, okay, I remember them. Thank God they're not in my group.
Yeah, everyone's renaming. You know, Orlando Eagles needs a little bit of a fresh idea. Why don't we carry on?
B7 now. B7 goes to Bamiyan Boys. And that leaves the Detroit Ocelots for our final spot, C7.
All right. So that that's pretty much wraps up kind of the draw that we have. You know, it's fairly amazing in terms of you know, what we have. In Group C, I think it's pretty interesting that we have the finalists and the winners, and the prior winners in Group B. There's also a local rivalry there. In Group B, we have some interesting lineups as well. You know, we also, as I said, prior finalists stacked there. In the Jaffrey Sports was a prior finalist as well. And in Group A, you know, we also have a couple of newcomers, as I said, and former winners as well. The group seems to be, you know, all 3 of them are very interesting. And the way the tournament is going to be laid out, which is the first time ever, every team is going to play 6 games. You know, either 2-3. I think it's either going to be 3-2-1. Most of the games are ending on Sunday morning, and but other than that, 6 games to make it to your kind of final standings. The top 2 teams from each group go into the cup, where they will, you know, where they will be seated. The second, third, and fourth teams from all the groups will go into the Shield, and the last, the fifth and sixth teams will go into a conference cup. And in each of these cases, they all will be seeded from 1 to 6, 1 to 6, 1 to 6, and the top 2 get a bye into the semifinals. And then, of course, the finals. Unfortunately, the one team that will be in the 7th position in each of these groups will be eliminated on Sunday morning. So it's a really, really exciting format. We've tried to give a lot of games. So, you know, till you leave your everything on the field. That's pretty much our approach.
So
Sorry,
if
go ahead.
my math is correct, then that would mean at least 9 games.
You could be playing 9 games to the final. That's right.
Maybe even 10 if you weren't seated. You didn't get by. So
yes,
that's a lot of games.
It's a lot of games, and you know, it'll be a lot more tactical, a lot more trying to really figure out which games and how you play it. So it'll be very interesting to see how teams stack up. So
I
with
think that's
that,
also what people wanted. They wanted more. They wanted more games. So I guess we're giving them exactly what they want and what they need.
yeah, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of rest. The games at night will be amazing to see. We played last year, and the games at night, they were just something else. So with that, Hadith, any reflections? I know this is the men's open, but you're looking at it from afar.
I mean, I hope next year we have this type of thing for women as well. Honestly, if there anyone on these teams who is here who's listening right now, bring your wives, your sisters' friends. Everybody should be participating. Honestly, like there's no reason why women can't have this many teams similar to the men. So bring them all next year. So and it'll be an exciting game. This year will be exciting, and next year will be even more exciting.
Yep. Well, if you can flip to the last slide. So, to close it all, we are going to say let the games begin, but it's very important to realize and recognize why we are here, why we're coming to the tournament. We're coming to the tournament to see each other, to unite, to play, to have fun, to build relationships. And just kind of the verse from the Quran that's on your screen, no matter where we come from, we're all together. And we always have to remember that. And we come to the games as brothers and sisters, we leave from the games as brothers and sisters. So with that, I'll call the draw a close, and we will see you in a few days in Richmond. Thank you so much for everyone for joining. There are a lot of people that dialed in. Really looking forward to seeing you. All right, with that, Assalamu alaikum.